Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Path of Exile. We've made it to Act 3. So now we're gonna attempt to find Tolman in the Crematorium. It's good that it's not officially a rescue operation, because, well, if it were a rescue operation we would kind of fail it. Given that Tolman never really makes it out alive. But we have arrived in Act 3, and Act 3 is where things usually get slightly dicier compared to earlier acts. Act 3 is where monsters start doing damage for real, and where bosses start to feel a little bit more dangerous than before. And where you actually have to pay attention to getting your gear up, getting your defenses up, getting your life in a pretty good state, and things like that. Because we have a sustain tank, the dynamics might be a little bit different. Because we are not going to focus as much on trying to avoid the damage, but we're just gonna recoup a lot of the damage taken in the form of Leech. So yeah, for me this is a first. I never actually played a strong life Leech character before. So, well, it's going to be a journey of discovery. And so far, I'm liking what I'm experiencing. I do wonder if we, at some point, might have to drop the heralds and the hatreds in favor of something that's maybe a bit better for just boosting our physical damage. Maybe switching to a haste aura to increase our attack speed rather than just adding elemental damage on top. On the other hand, because we leech 5% of our physical damage while we only leech 2% of our elemental damage. So getting more physical damage or doing more hits with physical damage seems like a straightforward way to benefit from all the leech rather than only from part of the leech. On the other hand, so if we make sure that our base weapons are pretty decent at doing physical damage, then it doesn't really matter. Then the elemental damage will scale, we will still leech 2% of it, and all the physical damage is just a bonus. And in the end it's all the extra leeching that we get. So the 2% is the number. But in practice we get 80% extra, so that's 3.6% of all the damage that effectively would get leeched. Because of the amplifier effect there. And so far, I don't feel like I have to worry about the damage output, about the tankiness, or anything of the build. Though that said, getting more life would always make me less anxious, because the bigger the life pool, the more unexpected events you can withstand, the more lag spikes you can survive. Though admittedly I don't really suffer from lag spikes all that much, which of course is the famous last words before you actually suffer from one. That as an aside, of course. So we can skip the Ascendancy, the trial that is, so I've already got him. I just double checked in town and we have completed all the Ascendancy trials on Cruel. So we can skip them. So it's not until Merciless that we actually have to start paying attention to it. So this is Elemental Damage Reflector, which was not even enough to get our elemental or our energy shield to drop to 0. So I'm gonna assume we are still fine in terms of that. Okay, you look hasty. So am I. So once we complete the labyrinth, at a safe time, I'm not gonna get in over my head and run the labyrinth ahead of time. I'm still gonna wait till I finish normal difficulty, or till I finish Act 4, till I defeat Malachi, and then I'm gonna go back to the labyrinth. I'm not gonna run it because I just arrived here, because technically I could right now. Ooh, hate beat plus. Hey there, this calls for a totem. Goes much faster with the totem. Okay, and that's Next tier. Let's actually bring it. I mean, damage output is still really strong, so I don't have I don't feel a strong need to upgrade my gear. And piety. This is always an interesting test. Can we get piety to below 0 life? Hello? Where are you? Piety. Piety. There. Okay. Can we get you to 0? Yes, we can. For a couple seconds. We're still overpowered. That's a very simple benchmark. If you can kill piety and get her to 0 life, where the game mechanics save her, then you're overpowered. And if you're overpowered, life is good. We'll keep this one for now. And then we put this one in the sorting bin. And we give the bracelet to Clarissa, who will get really sad, but give us a key anyway. So, sorry for your loss, and thank you for the keys. Oh yeah, and Mayamoa. Hello there. Worm scale, seems interesting. 46, I think there was already a 50 or 51 armor that we could potentially use, so this is not actually relevant for us. So, Hagen, here you go. We prophesied out. We are all prophesied out. Good. Prophesied up and ready to go. So, I think the super grade was pretty close to the entrance. So, if you're an X-ray, you can just see, and in this case, I've got all 6 seals. So, we're good. But I'm 51. I remember the labyrinth being 55, so we're 4 levels below level, which is not a great place to start, especially if you're feeling overpowered, since you're probably gonna get ruffle stomped, especially by a Zaro. Okay, so it's time to find the busts, and apparently we have to find infected beasts for Tora. Which goes well with finding the busts, so I'm okay with that. Hello there, Spine Snap. Good, my Spine Snap. Ooh, you look purple. Ooh, Mutated Watcher. You're the leader of the infected mobs. Hello? Why are you running away? I don't appreciate that. Good, goodbye. That was a very nice and compact Tora mission. Usually she has you chasing around the entire map. This is almost like what the other bosses do.
Be proud of yourself,
Good. So we are now looking for the exit since we did everything here we came here to do. I probably should have checked out that corner. So double check, this is a 49 area. I'm still 51, so I'm only 2 levels ahead. But close to leveling. But that's one of the nice, almost emergent properties of the gameplay. If you are over-leveled, that means your power level is generally higher than it ought to be. So you will progress through content faster, and eventually you will catch up with content that is tailored for your player level, so to say. And then things slow down again. So being ahead of the content is always a temporary thing. And especially if you progress through content faster than you normally would, it means you usually pick up less gear upgrades and things like that, and you will actually end up being behind relatively to your level because of that. Especially because the further you get, the more your gear influences your power level. You will get behind further. Okay, so we got the bust again, so once again we can just proceed to the next area. So we have the blockage, then there is a waypoint over here. Let's see, we have more than enough space, so we can just keep going. So currently at 1700 something life on the skill tree. Oh wait, I'm sustaining myself with 8 stacks of corrupted blood. Just pointing that out. Regen from the golem and just from passive life regen is amazing. Especially if you combine it with some life leech. You got a recipe for tankiness. And I was saying something before I got distracted. Okay, I don't know. It's important, I'll think of it again. Let's see, water blade, sleep slam, a couple of pops. Getting really close to leveling. Ooh. Bonds of Chaos. They hurt because Chaos is my least resisted resistance. Yes, that's actually a correct sentence. So, we have this wheel completed. Technically, if we want more leech, we could grab the Blade of Cunning. And then a sword, damage and life leech. There's a little bit of leech here. There's a little bit of increased leech per second. For the axes, similarly, we have... Over here we got 0.2 attack damage is leeched. And another 0.2 leeched plus another 10% life leech. So, oh wait, actually if here we want to go via this side, because then you get another 8% increased. Here you get it more. So if we want more leech, we can go that way. For now, however, we are heading toward the Marauder start, because there's a bunch of extra life here. There's life regen, there's diamond skin, which is really efficient in terms of getting elemental resists. So we're gonna go over there. And then the question was, how are we pathing there? And I believe this was my route. We're gonna go up here and we're gonna go in there. So we're actually picking up some stop points now, which, we're going back to it. Most of the skill points so far have always been non-stop points, non-travel nodes. Just every once in a while there's a couple. I think this is the longest chain of strength nodes we've grabbed so far. But it's gonna be some decks here, and yeah, that's it. And I'm starting to notice it's really hard to actually equip gear upgrades because I just don't have the decks for it. And even the amulet I'm wearing isn't cutting it in terms of equipping gear upgrades. Which for now works out fine because I chose to be rather picky with the sword upgrades I get. Because I want the ones that give me an extra chance to cause bleeding. So, no, for now, and our damage output is fine. We're still mowing through legions of monsters without too many difficulties. We're leeching a lot, we are sustaining a lot. So the fact that we're not upgrading our gear every couple of levels isn't too big a deal. Yeah, so now we're looking for the way out, or for the corpses that will guide our path. Hello everybody. Hello corpse, thank you for guiding the way. But I'm really curious to see how this build is going to behave in maps. And how it's going to deal with maps that have like reflect on it. Fist reflect, elemental reflect, doesn't really matter. 4 additional items, detonate corpses. So let's stay a little bit of a distance. Final corpses. Where is the final one? There. Yes, ooh, Orb of Alchemy, Wormskull boots. 51 boots. These are craft worthy as successors to the steel scale. I mean, they're level 51 base. Already 4 socket, not 4 linked. Need one more link to make it a 4 link. But it has potential. 49 area. Ah, of course it dropped from a rare, so that's why it's 51 base, and that's why it could drop. lots of guys in the Gambling Legion. Awesome. Well, I'm not really seeing my live move all that much, to be honest. That's... Gambling Legion can really be painful if you're not prepared for it and if you have to tank all of the damage yourself. In my case, I do have the golem that's tanking. That stone golem is really useful. Let's see, that was the worm skill, right? Yeah, let's put that in our box of useful stuff. Give these two to the Haken. And then we can just move over. And then we can pick up this gut ripper. Also, I think I need to pay a little bit more attention to where the exit is. Ooh, corrupting blood, 9 stacks, 10 stacks, 12 stacks. Slowly leeching some life, and then we're good again. Looking for corpse. Which would be weird to put in like a newspaper ad, but in this context it does make sense. Yeah, up, or so we want to push up, so let's just keep tracing the outlines of the map here. There is the corpse. Very excellent. But for all the puzzling you have to do to find the way through, this level is usually filled with a ton of mobs, and there are quite an interesting number of yellows and blues around. Feels like a very monster dense area, especially because of those undying outcasts and things. There really are pack animals or zombies or whatever they are technically called. But especially for a build like this that thrives by leeching off of groups, has explosive attacks, has AoE attacks. This is just heaven. But I'm sure those outcasts have a different opinion on the matter. We found the marketplace. Very nice. So in the marketplace we have the sewers, we have a waypoint, and we have the exit. And of course we have Marseilles the Defaced, who, well, for some builds it can be really a challenge. But marketplace first, that's good. Final of the busts, which is gonna get us a skill point. Okay. And we can skip the crypts here because we don't need to do the trial, which is it's nice. It's almost like old school playthroughs before we even had the Ascendancy and before we had trials. There's a reflector in there, and it's only doing enough reflect damage to make me lose my energy shield. So that reflect must not be a lot. Okay, so there's the exit. Let's hope that the room with the bust is pretty close, then we can just use this exit to get out. Let's see, +1 level, more items, Ice Nova, some rares. Okay, let's take a little bit of distance here. But multiple rares, that's interesting. Okay, there is a mob behind here that we're just blindly attacking until it drops. Yes. Time change goes up. I rarely have the need to use it. Which, though it's just part of the whole clear speed aspect of this build. This is, there's no need to curse things if they die before you. If you could attack them and kill them, there's no point in first cursing them manually. Maybe at some point switching into a blasphemy setup with curses rather than going for damage auras might be a different way to just keep the build safe. mean, I started using Enfeeble on my Cold Mage, my Frost Shadow. Really works well. It's really nice for just added safety in the build. But a dual curse, no temp change and Enfeeble could be very interesting. So then you slow them down and you make them less likely to hit you. All the while you are dealing damage over time, so you get a nice synergy there from temp change. Because the bleeding effects and the poison effects, they will just last longer. Especially because with bleeding, the strongest one takes effect. If you can make it last longer, that's just gonna be a nice bonus. And with poison, you can have infinite stacks, so the more stacks you have, the better. Okay, catacombs, we're not quite looking for that. So we kind of missed the waypoint here. But I think I'm just gonna, if we find the exit, we're just gonna move over and go to the next area. At some point you have to go back here to grab the Spiritus Decanter that you're gonna give to Fairgraves. But that's about it. Massive Shrine. Ooh, I'm bigger now. So more AoE means more radius. Means Lacerate hits even more mobs. Life, effect and size. Yeah. So we've got 2100 life rather than 1700. Which is nice. Waypoint, that's always good to grab. So, yeah, let's actually grab the things here as well. Hello there, Captain Aurelianus. Goodbye, Captain Aurelianus. Can't say anything about knowing you, because I never really knew you before I killed you. So I would be lying if I said it was a pleasure knowing you. And of course we don't want to lie, especially to the dead. That's just rude. So might as well go to the docks, grab the thaumatic sulfite. And then next episode we can do a dual temple run again, like we did the normal. Well, we went from beginning Act 3 all the way through to the docks in a single run. We're still rocking very fast clear speeds here. Which, now if you're used to really fast builds, that might be slow, it might be normal. But for me, it's still a new experience. And I'm really enjoying it. Glorious ladder with 5 sockets. Well. Okay, so kill 2 corrupted mobs. She's pointing roughly that way. Well, let's actually stick to the outsides. Then at least we know we have all the piers covered. Since Katarina is all fine and nice, but we are really here for the ribbons pool. No, not for the ribbons pool, for the thaumatic sulfites. Which is conveniently not here, but these undead are. These always have very scary numbers. Okay, maybe I should take care of this legion of archers before we start tanking these guys. Yes. But, well, we were leeching quite a bit of life, so we were able to sustain through just the massive amount of damage we were taking there. Which is, I think it's a nice thing. It gives you more time to react. It gives you better situational control. Hello there, Strongbox. Oh, it froze me. That was not quite good. Maybe I should stop blindly opening boxes. It's a very, very bad habit to get yourself into. There's the unique Revenant. Here, I have a totem. Slimy Nemesis. And am I full? Yes, I am full. Right. Then we're quickly gonna go back to town, empty our pockets, and then move on. Also, we have the final bust, so no, let's make space first, because we need space for the tome. We have that one, and just a bunch of currency. Hello, Hagen. Thank you for the skill point. So, right, and then more strength. Strength is not an issue of this build. Definitely not the... So next time we get a weapon, we can probably take the strength off and maybe roll some dex on it. Because dex is the stat we need. Okay. Let's keep looking for that ribbon spool. And for the waypoint, of course. So I think I still need to get the achievement for completing the Fairgraves quest on Cruel for this league. So I will have to grab the Spiritus Decanter and actually bring it to Fairgraves. But no, it's a side quest, so it's not that big a deal. I'll do that in between episodes somewhere. And of course we still need to clear the hedge maze and get the Chitus Plum from there to do the entire quest. So that's usually the kind of thing that you just wrap them up all the way at the end of the act or of the difficulty level. Just tie up all the loose ends. At some point we will have to switch into a proper armor rather than this tabula that I've been rocking. I mean, tabula is nice, you get a 6-link basically for free. The trade-off is that you don't get any defenses, and well, getting some more armor and evasion would help us. It would help us sustain through things even better. This point is not needed, but you are starting to notice little damage spikes now. We still need the waypoint, do we? Yeah. But you will start, to notice the damage spikes, and those get larger, and eventually one of them is going to kill you. So getting proper body armor definitely helps. On the other hand, I'm looking at upgrading the rest of my gear right now. That will get me more armor, it will get me more evasion, and that might just help me tank through things a bit longer. And it will just be more impact when we do wrap things up. And to get a proper body armor, because then the impact is going to be even more noticeable. But for now, I think we did a pretty darn good job. We cleared most of Act 3. So next episode's probably going to be the epic conclusion of Act 3. Slar's Temple, Lunaris Temple, and maybe even Dominus, because there is no need on Cruel to run the labyrinth, because it doesn't give us any skills we don't already have. So for now, this is going to be it. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.